And it's a tragedy. The Gauteng Education Department sending counselling teams to the Daveyton Skills School after 2 pupils drowned during a school outing in Centurion in Tshwane. We understand an investigation is underway to determine the circumstances leading to the tragedy. Newzroom Afrika's Mnisi joins me now and has the latest from the Hennops River. This is the site for where that drowning occurred. Linda, good morning to you. Again, families are in mourning and sadness. It's just unbelievable that a short time after the incident involving Latoya Templeton, you have another situation where schools potentially have been found wanting. Tell us what we know up to now.
Absolutely, Iman. And what we know at this moment is that the 2 boys aged 13 and 16 were part of a group that were participating in what is called a discipline camp. This camp happened at a camping site in Erasmia here in Centurion. And from what the Department of Education in Gauteng is telling us, Iman, is that on Monday, after all the activities had been concluded, one of the boys ran to the river. And I just want to give you a sense of what the river looks like just behind me. One of the boys ran to the river, and from there the other one tried to go and grab him to bring him back to where the others were. They jumped into the river, and while the other one was trying to save him, they unfortunately both drowned. So this happened here in Centurion in Erasmia. This is an initiative by a non-governmental organization called the Rising Star Youth Organization, which is based in Atteridgeville in Pretoria. So far we've also been able to engage some of the leaders of that organization. In fact, the founder of that organization, who was unable to speak to us because he says he is, of course, engaging people based on the investigations that are ongoing at the moment. But the Gauteng Department of Education says on its part it's been able to dispatch social workers to try and offer psychosocial services to those who have been affected by this particular incident. Of course, it brings about a lot of questions in terms of the procedures that have been followed and how this camp had been prepared in terms of whether the parents knew, consent was given. Was there any lifeguards around, given that the learners would be close to a river and would need to know, how to swim or have lifeguards on the side? So those are the questions that remain unanswered at the moment. And as we proceed with the day, Iman, we'll be getting more information in terms of how this came to happen, how long this organization has been doing this, because if you look at that particular organization, they've got an extensive digital footprint. Their work is on different mediums, social media platforms rather, and they basically show what they participate in. Over the last, in fact, earlier yesterday, they had a post about a discipline camp that they were hosting. So in terms of what was happening there will, of course, be subject to investigations by the police, especially because 2 learners, young boys, aged 13 and 16, have since lost their lives to that tragic incident.
Yeah, Linda, so many questions this morning. As you say, the organization and the NGO in question does have quite a prolific social media platform. And when you look at the way people interact with it, it's families who are typically at the end of their tether with young people and need someone with experience in how to guide and redirect young people to step in and to help them. So we again need to confirm if it indeed is, the same organization, and whether this was a camp that was decided upon by the families on their own, or whether it was a school ordained camp. Because we know in the aftermath of the other tragedy involving the young girl, the Education Department talked about their excursion framework. It talked about a number of interventions that private investigation revealed as necessary before anyone leaves any school premises and goes to a second location.
Absolutely, Iman. And as you speak, just this morning were watching a video of one of the participants of this discipline camp saying that this is a young boy who was filmed saying that his mother wants him to change not only on the outside but also on the inside, and that is why he was brought to this particular discipline camp. These are parents who are really at their wits' end, who really want intervention, and some of them, you see them engaging through social media platforms. This is an organization, Iman, that also does media interviews. Its founder is on various media platforms conducting interviews about the work that they do, and you see a number of parents engaging, interacting, sending messages about how they can get help. So it is an organization that wants to, as it puts it, wants to build young people, wants to redirect the future of young people. So the question now becomes, what type of work do they do and what engagements do they have with these schools in terms of ensuring that the safety of the learners is of paramount importance or is looked into. So many of those questions, Iman, will be looked at, especially when we engage the Gauteng Department of Education, based, of course, also on the statement that they released this morning. So much to touch on, and whether or not they even vet these organizations before entrusting them with these pupils.
All right, Linda, Mnisi, we're going to leave it there and also try and get hold of Rising Stars Generation and find out what they have to say in the aftermath of this tragedy.